You're watching a cartoon like normal, but suddenly, something feels off. Maybe the colors shift, perhaps the music gets quiet. The characters start acting strangely, but you can't explain the feeling, and the whole vibe changes. You find yourself thinking, what did I just watch? These aren't banned episodes. They weren't deleted or hidden. These episodes aired like any other, but they left people feeling uncomfortable, disturbed, or just plain creeped out. Some cartoon episodes stick with us for all the wrong reasons. Today we're diving into the most disturbing cartoon episodes ever made. Here's a show I'm sure many of us still watch to this day, Adventure Time. Adventure Time is a colorful cartoon that follows a boy named Finn and his magical dog Jake as they go on wild adventures across the land of Oo. There are lots of strange and even creepy moments throughout the show, but this episode we're about to watch takes it to a whole new level.
No one can hear you. In this episode, a deer is causing trouble in the Candy Kingdom by licking the candy people's faces. Despite Finn and Jake's efforts to get rid of him, he throws Jake off and kicks him in the head. This later affects Jake greatly as he suffers brain damage. The deer breaks Finn's legs and knocks him out. Finn later wakes up in a hospital room and realizes nobody is there. After leaving the hospital, he couldn't see anyone in sight until he found Jake digging in a dumpster.
Huh? Oh, Finn, you're awake.
Yeah, I'm awake, but my jams are all busted.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
So, what happened? Did you save everybody?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Maybe.
So, Jake, there's nobody here. Did you notice that?
Yeah, pretty freaky. Don't worry. Ouch. They're all hiding.
From what?
From me.
What?
It's my birthday, man.
After hearing this, Finn believes him and plays along, but slowly becomes suspicious. Jake then gets worried because he doesn't want Finn to look for everyone and ruin the surprise. After that, the deer comes along, and Finn yells at him. However, the deer ignores him and gallops away. Finn then begins to hear noises from a nearby sewer, thinking they sound like the candy people. Finn tells Jake about this, but Jake tells him to give them more time for the surprise. Finn becomes frustrated about waiting all day for the alleged surprise party.
6 months.
Wait, what are you saying?
Everything's gonna be fine, even if we have to wait.
Forever.
Have I been asleep for 6 months?
Yeah, but don't worry about it, man.
Face it, Finn. Your best friend is gone.
Jake is one of my favorite cartoon characters, and I remember being really creeped out by the way he acted in this episode. The whole vibe is eerie and leaves a lot of unanswered questions. The way the deer moves is super unsettling, and the fact that it actually attacks Finn really shocked me the first time I saw it. Have you heard of Cat Dog? It's about a weird creature that's half cat and half dog, literally stuck together. They live in a wild world full of strange neighbors and non-stop chaos. Cat is smart and grumpy, dog is goofy and wild, and together they get into some really weird situations. Sometimes things feel just a little too creepy, like in this episode.
In the episode Teeth for Two, Cat Dog is at the dentist for the dental checkup. As they wait, Cat tells Dog about the operation that will be performed on his mouth due to all the garbage he had been eating over the years. Dog is scared and terrified about the procedure, but Cat drags him in. When the dentist opens Dog's mouth and examines it, he finds his mouth perfectly clean, which surprises Cat. Then he checks Cat's mouth and notices that his mouth is unclean and loaded with all sorts of decay. Through an x-ray, they discover that whatever damage Dog does to his teeth will affect Cat's teeth and vice versa. Cat begs Dog to stop eating garbage, but Dog ignores his commands. Later that night, Cat's mouth is still hurting after Dog ate too much garbage. He tries to clean Dog's teeth while he's asleep, and that's when the horror begins. Yes, Cat forces his way through Dog's body, coming out his mouth to clean his teeth. I don't know how this got past censorship, but I bet it gave kids around the world nightmares.
This episode is fine until the very end, and that's where it gets really gross and creepy. I seriously can't watch the last part because it makes me feel like I can actually feel what's happening. It's not subtle at all, and it's honestly very disturbing. One of my favorite shows has a bunch of creepy episodes. You've probably seen it. It's called Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls follows twins Dipper and Mabel as they spend the summer with their great-uncle Stan in a mysterious town full of secrets. Almost everything in this show is strange, but this episode stands out for being really disturbing. This was one of my favorite episodes, but it definitely scared me as a kid. I avoided watching it at night.
In the episode titled Summerween, Dipper and Mabel are excited for their first Summerween in Gravity Falls, but Suze warns them of the Summerween trickster who eats children who lack the Halloween spirit. There was then a knock at the door. It was the trickster himself asking for some candy. When Dipper refused to give him candy, he became furious and threatened to eat them. They didn't collect 500 pieces of candy by the time the last jack-o'-melon loses its light. So they all worked together to get the candy. But in an act of desperation to look cool in front of Wendy, Dipper accidentally throws the candy away. Now, with their time being over, the trickster returns to eat them. They were able to hide from him in the nearby Summerween store, and the only way they defeated him was thanks to Suze eating him from the inside.
Compared to the other creepy episodes in the show, this one just gives off a real sense of fear. The vibe is dark, and it feels more like a horror story than a kid's cartoon. It's a perfect Halloween episode if you're brave enough to watch it. The next creepy episode comes from the original Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a classic cartoon featuring famous characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig. It's known for silly jokes, crazy chases, and over-the-top humor, not disturbing stuff. But this one episode really creeped out a lot of people.
What happened? Oh, I think I lost my appetite. If you're done with me, you have to at least win. Will me, Cat. Win me. You're beautiful. That's all, folks.
Just look at Bugs Bunny's skin and fur. It looks all wrong. Then he deflates like a balloon, which is super unsettling. And when he wraps his arms around Elmer Fudd's face, that part gave me chills. Even Elmer looks horrified, and rightfully so. He runs off as fast as he can, and honestly, I would have done the same. Now let's talk about a show that's honestly creepy even without a specific episode, Mr. Meaty. If you've never seen it, Mr. Meaty is a puppet show about two teenage boys, Josh and Parker, who work at a weird fast food place in the mall. It mixes gross-out humor with super creepy stories. Some people think it's one of the weirdest and most disturbing kids shows ever made.
In the episode Roast Beef Barb, Josh gets dumped by his girlfriend after telling her that she is not hot. While feeling down and upset, Parker offers to help him find another girlfriend by creating one using the Jiffy Meat machine, a machine that helps them create the meat for their burgers, stating that we're all made out of meat anyways. All they need is to grab some DNA from a girl that Josh likes. After collecting a nail from Ashley and a tissue with boogers from Brittany, they mix it in the machine and Josh spits in it to add some of his DNA too, claiming that it'll add the final beauty touch. After the machine finished processing, this is what comes out.
Hi, my name is...
A blonde girl with a pink headband without skin that has raw meaty flesh as her entire body. Terrified about her appearance, Josh then tells Parker that he is not going on a date with her but gets peer pressure into doing so by Meat Girl. As they walk around the mall, they obviously get some weird looks and stares. At one point, Meat Girl takes a small piece of her flesh and feeds it to a random dog.
Although this episode is disgusting and gross, it's also terrifying and has an unsettled vibe to it. Seeing a puppet with no skin, it's pure nightmare fuel.
Roast beef Barb? I don't think so. She's something straight out of a nightmare, and I don't understand why they had to make her look that terrifying. I already didn't like the puppets, but this is just next level disturbing. This wouldn't be a complete video without talking about SpongeBob. I clearly remember this episode creeping me out when I was younger. Let's take a look and see if you've ever seen this strange episode too.
Spongehenge. In this episode, we start off seeing SpongeBob looking out of his window. We can see that it is very windy and that this causes the holes on his face to produce a nice tune. This tune attracts a jellyfish. The next day it is still windy in Bikini Bottom and this causes the tune to play again. In an instant, SpongeBob is surrounded by jellyfish. It is so windy that he is unable to make it to work, and regardless of how windy it is, the jellyfish are still attracted to his tune. Mr. Krabs has to then reel SpongeBob in so that he could make it to work. But even at work, the tune plays and the jellyfish find him. They are relentless to make their way to the tune whenever it is played. It's so bad to the point that SpongeBob has to hide in a cave away from the jellyfish because they won't leave him alone. But after a very, very long time, SpongeBob comes up with a plan to rid himself of his supposed curse of jellyfish fever. He decided he would make a stone version of himself which would replicate the tune. After a lot of tries, he finally perfected it and was ready to put the plan in motion. He decided that it would be a good idea to make multiple stone sponges in different sizes to produce the profound tune. His plan ends up working. However, this plan took thousands of years. When he returns, Bikini Bottom is in ruins, and the Krusty Krab is buried. And 300 years later, aliens discover the stone sponges.
3,000 years later.
To this day, no one knows why these mysterious statues were created or by whom. All we know is the genius of their design has caused the annual migration of jellyfish to their wondrous tomb.
Everything about this episode just feels off. The creepy stone SpongeBob statue, the weird time skip of 3,000 years. What does it even mean? Is the episode trying to tell us something, or is it just trying to scare the audience? I'm not really sure, but if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. And that's all we have for today, peonies. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave flowers in the comments if you want me to give you a heart. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.